Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, Harvey moving through the South right now. Tornadoes causing damage in Tennessee and Alabama. Heavy rain creating new dangerous floods. Interstates shut down. Rescue still ongoing at this hour. And the crisis far from over in small towns and cities in Texas. Rivers still rising. The entire city of Beaumont without drinking water.
The storm is sending gas prices soaring across the country as millions of Americans hit the road for the holiday weekend. Vice President Pence getting hands-on in the cleanup, while President Trump promises a big donation of his own money.
Answering the call, an incredible outpouring of love on our Day of Giving, raising millions to help all those affected by Hurricane Harvey. And donations are still pouring in. Jason Derulo here this morning to do his part.
This is a special edition of Good Morning America. Disaster in Texas, flooding catastrophe.
Good morning, America, and you're looking at Beaumont, Texas. Still underwater, as you can see. It's been almost a week since that deadly storm hit, and we're seeing an incredible outpouring all across the country for those affected by Harvey.
People have said that we're seeing the worst of Mother Nature and the best of human nature. And the staggering scope this morning, many people still stranded. The Coast Guard has rescued 9,000 people and 1,000 pets this week. Nearly 100,000 homes destroyed, and that number is likely to rise and perhaps dramatically. Meanwhile, this morning, new fears. This is ominous. We're watching a major hurricane, Irma, intensifying over the Atlantic.
All this as a new threat as what's left of Harvey is still causing so many problems. Let's go to our chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, with new possible flash floods. Ginger?
Robin, I just got the numbers in from Nashville. 50 homes evacuated this morning, and the rain still falling north of you here. You can see the center of what's left of Harvey. Bowling Green, Kentucky, in the flash flood warnings this morning because Harvey is not done with us yet.
Overnight, what's left of Harvey pouring on Tennessee. Up to 8 inches of rain, shutting down Interstate 40, forcing evacuations and at least 25 water rescues. Emergency conditions.
Yeah, you can see somebody moving in the cab.
This local Memphis TV crew taking matters into their own hands when they spot a car going under.
Oh, good grief. That's a little girl. Thank God he got her out. Thank you, Lord.
I had to back up. We got fires up there.
A tornado in Pickens County, Alabama, wiping out homes, injuring 4 people. That tornado, one of 9 reported in Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee.
Already a half foot of rain falling in some of these places, especially in the area you see in red. But Lexington, Louisville, just south of Cincinnati, you're not out of the woods yet. Some of the heavy rains are moving toward you as we speak or are on top of you already. And actually, we'll eventually see along the East Coast some of the relatively lighter rain from Harvey through the weekend. That's Saturday night that you saw getting pretty wet there from Pennsylvania through New York. Quick look, more than a half foot. All right, Robin, more coming in just moments.
Okay, Ginger, so the worst of the weather may be over in Texas, but many people are still suffering from those relentless floods, seeking air rescues. ABC's Matt Gutman is with them in Beaumont, has the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Even the evacuation centers here in Beaumont have been evacuated, and just over the past few hours, we've watched this river rise several feet, and there are still hundreds of people who need rescue. Officials here saying the worst is yet to come. This morning, Beaumont is an island surrounded by that giant moat of brown water. The only way in by boat or by air.
Right, we're about to take off.
So we joined a Navy search and rescue flight, many hundreds begging for rescue. Choppers buzzed the Beaumont sky. Beaumont's Baptist Hospital completely evacuated, some 200 patients, many of them airlifted. Rescuers here lift an entire hospital bed onto an airboat. And everywhere, the water's still rising. With the help of this website, the crew chief and pilot try to pinpoint rescues. Our Blackhawk bouncing down at the Pine Forest Elementary School.
There's a tremendous amount of activity here. Helicopters landing, 2 of them.
The school was a shelter. Now it too has to be evacuated. Hands clamped over their faces, the families couldn't contain the tears or the fear.
Apparently there are a lot of people in this school. We're still unclear what's going on. All of them have stranded, congregating here because this is one of the few dry areas around here. There's basically nowhere for them to go but up.
We rush inside. There, Dorothy Mitchell and her family are frantic. We help them gather the essentials.
Sorry, you need your medicine?
Yeah, I gotta have my medicine.
So take it. Take whatever you need. Take the medicine they're saying. You're gonna be okay.
Folks leaving behind what little they had, but not those dogs. What you can't hear above the rotors is what Mitchell is saying. Where do we go now? We pack them in, 14 evacuees and 4 dogs on our way to higher ground. We land near another shelter. They're hustled out of the chopper. It's dry, but it's not home. And the families thank their Navy heroes and even a reporter with a round of hugs. And shockingly, water supply is the biggest problem here. Officials telling me this morning that it could be another week before it gets turned back on. And folks aren't worried about what they're going to bathe in. They're worried about what they're going to drink. There are distribution centers being set up to hand over just a few bottles of water. And all of this means that the lone operating hospital in this town will also likely have to be evacuated. Dan?
A huge problem. Harrowing scenes there. Matt Gutman, thank you. Now to the victims of Harvey in Texas, still stranded by those overflowing rivers. ABC's Gio Benitez is in Orange County, Texas with the latest. Gio, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning to you. This is where the highway turns into a river. Beyond this, small towns are being flooded out like people here have never seen before. It could get worse, and that's why mandatory evacuations are in effect right now.
This morning, an urgent crisis unfolding now in small southeast Texas towns as rivers and bayous reach their breaking points. Here, houses and cars are already underwater, and there's a desperate effort to get people out before the area floods anymore.
We've got 3 rescue boats here.
We joined volunteer rescuers working with the local sheriff to find people.
Look at that, all those children.
And you can just see many of these homes have water nearly up to the roof. So flooded, you can only get here by boat.
We are on what was a highway and now looks more like a river. Look at that. That right there, that's a car. The trunk is open.
This is Vidor, Texas. The nearby overflowing bayou is helping flood this city. Even the livestock are stuck here.
They've got no place to go.
The rescuers coming from all over, getting in the water, going door to door, looking for stranded survivors. Jeff Housley lives 3.5 hours away.
I mean, you guys are just everyday people out here volunteering.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I work in a plant. I mean, I don't do this for a living.
Yeah,
I don't have any training or nothing.
In Orangefield, Texas, one of our boats spotting Mike Beadair at his window. He and his wife Brenda had been stuck here for 3 days. They get on the boats and to safety with some of their belongings and their pet bird.
Thank you.
We thought it would never happen to us. We're probably like millions of other people that it's happened to. Oh, it'll never happen to me. It did.
Tough images to see when you consider that about 80% of Texans don't have flood insurance.
And remember, right now we are between 2 overflowing rivers. So the new concern this morning, what happens when one of those rivers reaches those record levels today? Well, officials say they have no idea. That's why they want residents out now.
Absolutely. Okay, Gio. But as the flood water begins to recede in Houston, we are getting a better picture of the scope of the disaster there. Some 100,000 homes suffering damage. About 170,000 are still without power. Schools in Houston, though, will now start on September 11th, about 2 weeks late. ABC's Tom Yamas is there in Houston this morning for us. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. The Houston mayor says the city is mostly dry and open for business, but not for everyone. You can see that just behind me. The boats are still out in this area, and the search is still on. 19 still missing in the Houston area.
In Houston, first responders going door to door. Watch here as they fight a fire in chest-deep waters to rescue a family from a burning home.
Walk that curb, guys. Fire hydrant.
Going underwater to connect the hose.
We're about a hose short right now.
Using a boat's engine to propel water onto the flames. One firefighter in this rescue mission injured.
Right now we're in the Piney Point section of Houston, and you can see all the water still on the ground here. But take a look at this. Even though Houston has turned a corner, there are so many neighborhoods still flooded out. But the rescue effort is so difficult because the area is so widespread.
Outside teacher Michelle Hayes' home, her students are helping her not only clean up, but gut the part of her home flooded by Harvey.
Didn't even have to call, they just showed up. unreal. I feel like this isn't even my home. It's something I never thought would happen.
This is her video, and that's her home when the water started to rise. This photo shows what she saw when she opened her son's room, who was sleeping in his toddler bed less than 3 feet off the floor.
Seeing the water at my son's mattress and having to tell my children to put on bathing suits and life jackets because we need to leave our home, something I see every time I look at them.
As for the tens of thousands in shelters like Aisha Nelson, who we met earlier this week, there's no end in sight.
We don't know what's next for us. We don't know how long we're going to be able to stay in this shelter. I want to leave the shelter, but there's nowhere for it to go.
All right, we also want to mention that chemical plant in the Houston area that had fires and explosions. A 1.5-mile perimeter remains in effect. The EPA says they have tested the smoke in that area, and as of right now, there is no cause for concern. Dan?
Tom, thank you. That teacher talking about the water reaching her toddler's mattress, truly scary. Tom Yamas, who's been leading our coverage all week, thank you. Now to the latest on the White House response to the catastrophe. President Trump personally pledging $1 million of his own money for disaster relief, and he will be returning to the storm zone this weekend. Vice President Pence was there on Thursday, meeting with flood victims and surveying the damage. Our chief White House correspondent, John Karl, was right there.
We joined the vice president on a V-22 Osprey as he flew above the area Hurricane Harvey first came ashore.
From above, you get a sense of just how much damage is out there. Damage as far as the eye can see.
On the ground in a neighborhood mangled by Harvey's winds, we saw Pence roll up his sleeves and get to work, meeting face to face with victims, even helping clear the brush from a damaged home.
Is it worse than you thought it would be?
I think the scope is truly breathtaking.
In contrast to the president's trip here earlier this week, Pence made a point to see the devastation himself.
We are with you. Does it do something for them to actually be able to see firsthand? I mean,
absolutely.
The damage.
I mean, because you can describe it to people, but unless you're here, you don't really know.
Pence promises that Texas will get everything it needs from the federal government. But what about that threat the president made shortly before the storm, that he'd force a government shutdown if Congress doesn't fund his border wall? Any shutdown now would almost certainly hurt recovery efforts.
Now, this is obviously not the time to have a government shutdown, is it? I mean, is the president going to kind of withdraw that threat?
Well, look, the administration has its priorities going forward, but I will tell you, President Trump's made it very clear. Our top priority right now is dealing with Hurricane Harvey and its aftermath.
President Trump will get another update on recovery efforts later today in an Oval Office meeting with relief organizations, and he and the First Lady will be back here in Texas tomorrow. The Vice President told me that they will be out with families in the Houston area. Robin?
All right, John, thank you. We're going to go now to Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He joins us from Austin, Texas. And Governor, you know that the thoughts and prayers of the nation are with you and everyone there in the state of Texas. We've been talking with the mayor in Houston, and he says that the mayor says the city is mostly dry. But there's great concern that now that the floodwater is receding, that it's going to reveal the extent of the damage. Are you getting a better gauge of that extent of damage?
Well, we are. And first of all, we do appreciate the thoughts and prayers of people across the country and, in fact, across the world, and the support that we've seen galvanized because of this horrific flooding and hurricane has really transformed this state and our nation. As the waters recede in Houston, of course, they are still rising over in Beaumont. And so we are having to, first of all, deal with the aftermath of the receding waters in Houston, while also deal with the emergency of rescuing people in the Beaumont, Texas area. But this is going to be a massive, massive cleanup process. It's going to be far larger in scope than Katrina was, because the geographic area covered was far larger. And people need to understand this is not going to be a short-term project. This is going to be a multi-year project for Texas to be able to dig out of this catastrophe.
And there are many, Governor, that are now in shelters, some 30,000 and counting, that are in shelters and having to move around. And they want to get back to their homes. And when they get back, they may be unsalvageable. But also knowing that about 80% in the hardest hit areas do not have flood insurance. So what do you say to those families who are trying to get back home? They know their homes may not be there and they don't have the flood insurance. What can they expect? How can they be helped?
Sure, they can expect help from FEMA. FEMA has been very aggressive in making sure that we're going to have a very close collaboration and a very swift activation to make sure that we will be able to get these people from the evacuation facilities to temporary facilities to permanent facilities. And so this has been the most impressive response to a catastrophe that we've seen. People can expect us to continue that very swift effort.
And we're seeing that some of the schools are saying that they're going to be reopening in a couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks behind schedule. And having grown up in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, I remember I was like 8 years old after Hurricane Camille, and it's so important to get the schools back open. People are just craving normalcy, and I know that it's a real balancing act in what you're trying to do, Governor.
Well, it is, and getting back to school is one of the most important things. And once people start returning to school, people will feel that sense of normalcy. We've received waivers from the U.S. Department of Education, and the state of Texas has triggered those waivers to make sure that that process will be more seamless and more easily achieved. But returning to school, returning to work, returning to normalcy, you will begin to see that pick up. But during that process, we will be working swiftly to try to normalize the situation, not just in Houston, not just in Beaumont, but where the hurricane originally hit, back near the Corpus Christi area.
Yes, it's such an extensive storm, as you said. And there's so many people that are coming to your aid, and there's somebody with Texas ties. You're going to be back with us later in our 8 o'clock hour, and a major contribution, because as you said, this is years in the making in the recovery effort, and so many people are helping. And we'll see you a little bit later this morning, Governor, but thank you.
Thank you so much, of course.
Dan?
You know, as a Gulf resident, that normalcy takes a while to reestablish.
It certainly does.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the economic impacts of this storm for all of us. Those oil refineries shut down in Texas in the wake of Harvey, sending gas prices soaring across America just as millions of us hit the road for Labor Day weekend. And ABC's chief economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis joins us with more on the ripple effects for drivers. So talk a little bit about what's driving this.
So Dan, this storm hit the heart of energy country. 20% of our nation's refineries are now shut down, which is why you're starting to see those shortages of gasoline, the lines that we've seen, the very long lines in Dallas. And that's why now the Department of Energy has taken that extraordinary step of releasing some oil from our nation's strategic petroleum reserve, which they only do in emergency situations.
So what will we see drivers out on the road this holiday weekend in terms of prices?
Already this morning, Americans are paying the highest amount for gas that they've paid all year. The national average this morning, $2.52. It has spiked 18 cents since pre-Harvey, and we're expecting to see another 20 to 30 cent jump in the coming weeks. The good news for drivers is that this should be short-lived. By mid-September, we should be back to usual.
Still very few people in this country escaping the effects of Harvey. Chief Economics Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis, thank you. Robin, over to you.
We're talking about Harvey, and there's another one that is brewing. Let's go over to Ginger with that major hurricane that's brewing in the Atlantic. Ginger?
Yes, all eyes on the Atlantic. This is Category 3 Hurricane Irma, and it is moving, of course, westward, but it looks like it's so far away. I don't want anyone to lose their minds quite yet. By early Wednesday morning, it'll be just east of Puerto Rico. We'll be tracking it. The Weekend Getaway is brought to you now by Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Cool for this first day of September and meteorological fall. Your highs today only in the upper 60s. There'll be plenty of clouds, even a late day, light shower. But look at our best chance of rain tomorrow, mainly between 1 and 4 o'clock. But really any time we're going to see that rain moving through. It's all rain from Harvey, in fact. Then warmer air moves in on Sunday, the high 80. There's your sunshine that continues for Labor Day, and highs in the 70s next week as we'll watch Irma where it makes landfall.
Coming up here on GMA, the hidden dangers of returning to the disaster zone. 2 survivors share their story after crashing into a submerged power line.
4 seconds on the clock. Down by 1. Championship on the line. Aaron, the sharpshooter Shanahan, fakes left.